Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Beyond the Scenes. Happy 2023. Today we have our interview with the Caribbean Home Educators Alliance, otherwise called CHEA. And sitting here with me to my immediate left is Ronalda Pairman, and she is the public relations personnel. And then we have Mr. Lindel Vitali, and he is the president of CHEA. Now, we wanted to find out from Lindel and Ronalda, what is this CHEA? Is it a seed? Is it a fruit? Just the acronym itself. So just want to find out from Lindel, first of all, why you came up with the idea and what does CHEA represent for us here in Jamaica?
Well, we were working on what happened with the JTA, or the JTC.
That's the Jamaica Teaching Council.
Teachers Council.
Yeah.
So they're changing the act. And there's a new bill out. They're trying to rearrange everything. And when it was to incorporate home educators,
Okay.
they wanted to make them teachers. And that's not really what we are. We're parents. We're parents who care about our children and want to make sure they get a proper education.
So when you said they wanted to make the parents teachers, is it that they also wanted the parents to have a certificate or in teaching or what?
They wanted us to have actually the same exact as what a teacher in any public or private school has.
Okay.
They wanted us to go back to school
Oh.
to get our degree. They want us to continued education, just like every other teacher. And we have to have a police record check.
Oh.
to
So you're a
make
parent
sure
of your child, but you have to get a police record to
Right. So,
teach your child as a parent,
Yes.
basically. Okay.
which makes a lot of sense because, we shouldn't raise them though.
You should raise them if you need a police record to show that you're
Yes.
not going to harm them, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is new to me, and I guess because you're in the business already, so you kind of understand what it is. So what I'd like to ask Ronalda, how did you become involved in this? Are you a parent yourself? How did the CHEA come about?
Wow. Before it was CHEA, we were actually a part of another group and we had come together over the same JTC bill and what it was asking of homeschooling parents to do. I have a child, a 4.5-year-old.
Yes.
4 going on 15,
Yes.
right? So when the bill came up, I looked at how it would affect her future. And then not only for her future, but generations coming after us, parents who don't want to be a part of the school system.
Yeah.
So a few parents, led by Lindel the charge, we had the same drive behind wanting to protect our rights as parents and rights as to educate our children.
Our own children.
We came together. Lindel immediately formed a couple WhatsApp groups. One looking at laws, the other one looking at
The other one was researching around the world.
Okay.
Different.
Okay.
What already existed.
Right. So we started out with a group of 16, and then based on the amount of work that it would have taken, it dwindled down to very few of us, and the few of us that was left decided that we wanted to work together
Okay.
with the same passion, the same drive to protect our future.
So how did you guys meet up? Because I know you're a parent of your child, and there is also a parent, and I think you have other members of the team who are parents. Is it that you were in a parenting group? How did you meet?
We were part of an organization that dealt with homeschooling,
Okay.
and that is where this all started. We started researching, and we found out that group didn't quite align with what we were looking at.
Okay.
So 6 of us broke off and went further in it, and now I get the pleasure of working with these 3 ladies,
Okay.
and the other 2 are, they volunteer with us. They're not part of our board, but they volunteer still, so they're still there.
And to mention the JTC, you said that there was an act that the government was trying to revise, and I think you guys also made a presentation. Is it in Parliament?
We did. We went to Parliament, and there were 5 of us
Yes.
that went there,
Mm-hmm.
and the other organization as well.
Okay.
And they had some interesting views on what homeschoolers should be.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of the things that you thought the government could look at that would make homeschooling more relevant for the parents?
Some of the things that they should look at. Well, first off, they should allow parents to be parents.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to be parents,
Yeah.
like I said. So that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
They need to realize that when it comes to homeschooling, there's not a standard way of doing anything like you do in school. You have a syllabus and you do that and that's it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter whether the child understands it, doesn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You just do that. Where homeschooling, there's 9 main ways, but there's about 3, 4, 5 dozen different ways, and more being learned. But they don't want that. They just want a strict, you do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take into account for special needs children.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just children who have a hard time learning. My son is 13. He's going to be doing his CSEC here shortly. He's in grade 11.
Oh, wow.
And he's 13 years
So
old.
13 he's gonna do C-section.
Yes.
Wow.
And this young lady's daughter is 4 and reads and does all kinds of amazing things.
Wow. So how do you guys, and I know Ronalda, you do public relations, how do you spread the message about CHEA and, like track the progress and get the word out there that this organization exists? Here are the fruits of what we have done so far. Here's why it would be good for parents to get this thing done for their children.
Well, one of the methods is that we're here now. We're here with Beyond the Seas.
Definitely.
And to be perfectly honest, we are newly minted. So, as we said before, the organization started as a result of the JTC Act bill that we were made aware of July this year.
Oh, and I
Yes.
thought this started in COVID. I thought it was COVID that started.
Well,
with it.
funnily enough, the act has been going on for a couple of years, but we were only made aware of how far it has reached in July. So we were scrambling.
You mean
to
July
kind
of
of get
2022?
July of 2022. So we were scrambling to kind of, as parents, homeschooling parents is a different brand, a different breed. We go above and beyond. We research everything. I remember one of the ladies that volunteers for our group says that once you're a homeschooling parent, you are a scientist, you are a researcher, you are physical education, you're a deep sea biologist, you're a space engineer.
So they have to know everything.
You have to know everything and you have to be there along with your child in that experience. So when it comes to spreading the word, this is our first interview and we're very grateful for it. We also have created our social media handles, which is CHEA Jamaica right across the board. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, we're there. So we're currently developing social media posts that speaks with the voice that we want to put out there. Because one of the things that we want to make very clear is that one of our main purposes is advocacy. We're not a membership group, so it's an alliance. So, and then on top of that, we want to ally ourselves with other Caribbean countries in the diaspora that is experiencing the same things. Because I think at one point we had a conversation with someone from Trinidad. She was also experiencing the same thing, but her government was more willing and open to have the kind of dialogue, right? So she got a better result, and they currently work in harmony. So again, thanks to Lindel and Madam Treasurer, they led the charge in terms of trying to get in contact with the different Caribbean countries and finding out what their laws were like, so that we could fully understand what the implications were regarding the JTC Act. So right now we're just building, but we're looking forward to a lot more parents who have the same drive, the same challenges, you know, they can come forward, and we have projects that we work on. So we invite the parents to come and be a part of the projects.
Okay.
And you know, we get the stuff done. So you come, you do a project, you make your mark, and then you move on.
Okay.
So that's what we're working towards.
Because I was gonna ask on the curriculum for homeschooling. We know, like in a regular setting, what the child does, but what are the other things that you guys have that you offer the child that the regular system doesn't offer them?
Okay, so to be very clear, we don't have a homeschooling curriculum. That's one of our mandates to create.
Curriculum.
Right, but what we want to do, instead of doing it just for Jamaica, we'll do it right across the board, you know, with the different Caribbean countries. So we don't have a curriculum. For me, I work with the Ministry of Education early childhood curriculum, and the older she gets, I will implement aspects of the national school curriculum along with other curriculums that I see that will benefit her.
Yeah.
Right. So, President?
Well, not all curriculum is going to be the same for everybody.
Yeah.
I've taught my boy about math by the mere fact. You ever change your oil in your car?
Yeah.
Do you know how much it takes?
No.
Okay. So
I think 5 bottles.
so how much of a gallon is that?
I'd have to look at
Well,
the
he
bottle.
he had to figure that stuff out. He had to
Yeah.
know so that we could change the oil in the truck because he had to tell me.
Yeah.
He had to actually help me replace the headlights. The whole entire assembly was broken. So I had to take that out. He had to learn that's part of his engineering.
Yeah.
So his curriculum is not, it's all in a book and it's set out like this, and this is how the
Yeah.
government wants me to teach it. No, his is, he's going to learn it by doing something
Yeah.
that is a life skill.
Right.
It's a life skill, and he learns how to do his math, and he's great at math.
Yeah. And you mentioned engineering, and I know you have an engineering background. So
Yes.
since we're at that part, would you like to tell us a little bit about Lindel, who you are?
I grew up in a small town in the U.S., a small Italian village.
Okay.
So we grew up speaking Italian. I ended up going to school for engineering. After I got back from the war, the engineering thing didn't work out so well anymore. Ended up in law. I became a law enforcement federal agent, and then I taught law for 2 years in university and 2 years at an academy.
Okay.
And I also went to school for theology.
Okay. And you're now here in Jamaica. How did that come about?
Well before probably any of you ladies were born, I came to this country in 1984.
Okay.
I fell in love with the people, the culture.
Thanks for the compliment. That young, right?
I fell in love with everything about this country. Sure, it has its downfalls, but so does every other country in the world.
Definitely.
And when I retired, I came back to live permanently. And about 3 months after I came back, I met a young lady who stole my life away.
Brought new life as a public relation. You want to make that more beautiful and romantic.
Yeah. Who brought new life.
Breathe new life.
She gave me an amazing son.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And you, Ronalda, what's your background? And I
Background.
noticed you're wearing this lovely headdress, so you could probably include a bit of that in it as well.
Thank you. And you got the correct term, headdress instead of hat or feathers. So I am Kasike Ayane Ronalda Pairman. So the Kasike Ayane is a Taino Arawak term for chieftainess.
Okay.
So we have our Taino community called Yamewani, and the English translation for that is Jamaican Hummingbird Taino people.
Okay.
Right, I'm also a food and lifestyle coach. I have my own business called Revolution of Food in Jamaica. Yes, and a wife and a homeschooling mom.
Okay.
And I have a background in psychology.
Okay, wonderful. So as other members of the group, what are their backgrounds?
They I will speak towards Madam Secretary, and Mr. Vitali, President, will speak towards the Treasurer.
I guess that's the wife, right?
That's the wife. The husband knows his wife. So, Madam Secretary Rowena is a beautiful housewife, a homeschooling mom, and also the backbone of her husband's business in terms of keeping it organized. I can't even give her a role in that because she does everything. You know how we say
all
already.
trades.
Right. She's a secretary. She's really organized to the T. Memory of an elephant. She has 2 beautiful children that currently plays chess and karate and all these things with the Camp Vitali.
Yes.
What else can I say? She's amazing. Yeah, and today is her birthday, so big up, Rowena.
Happy birthday, Rowena.
Yes.
Yes. And then Lindel.
So our treasurer, she is my wife, an amazing lady. She grew up Rastafari, being raised by her father, an amazing man, actually, amazing. And she went on to Edna